Let's talk about some books that I have pulled aside to read during this fall season. Welcome to this House of Walls. My name is Ashley, and yeah, I have a stack of books that I have pulled aside to read. Will I get to all of these? Absolutely not. But I thought, what a great way to celebrate the arrival of fall, then some amazing fall reads to go with it. If you can't tell, I like fall. It is my favorite season. I like to really kind of get into the season and make everything fall related. Now, obviously, I could read these books any time of the year, but it does help when the ambiance fits. So, I have a massive stack here. I will link down below the last kind of TBR video that I put on my book channel, which I think I will be not posting, but I'll just keep up. I talk about how my TBR has changed. I'm no longer really going for a TBR pile every month. I pull books off of my shelves that I have an interest in reading, and they go on my bedside table. And if I get to them, I get to them. And if not, then they go back onto my shelves. And that's totally fine. It has been working really, really well to not have that I have to read these books by the end of the month. I can just pick up and read whatever I want. Now, of course, there are some books that I have to read for book clubs, or they come in on Libby, and so I need to read them. But for the most part, I'm able to just do what I want. And it's been really nice. Now, these books are going to be just books that I will be reading. I will probably make a video here shortly of books that I will be having my kids read, or some of our favorites, things like that. But for this video, it's just about me. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee and let's talk books. All right, the first couple of books are books that are already on my bedside table, and I just put them there a little early for kind of September, beginning of September, and I haven't gotten to them yet. Let's start with this one. I have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So I have heard that this is the first dark academia book that really kind of set the tone for it. I think it was written in the 90s. So this is to test if I like dark academia. I have read a couple before, and they just haven't been my absolute favorite, so I thought I would really go to the source of dark academia and try it from there. I tend to like cozier reads, and I like messy characters. I like messy families. I like all that kind of stuff. I just don't know if I like it in an academic setting. So I do have a couple of other dark academia books on my shelves, but for this fall, I thought I would just start with the OG and see how it goes. Yeah, sure. All right, this is actually going to be my next read that I am going to be picking up, and this is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I am really excited to read this. I've heard amazing things about it. It has vampires, it's sapphic, multiple timelines, so 1532, 1827, and 2019. So I'm really excited to pick this up. I have only read Addie LaRue. I've only read Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and that was quite a few years ago, and somehow I haven't picked up any other books by this author. But when this one came out on Book of the Month, I grabbed it, and I'm really excited to get into it. Ooh, on the back it says, 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, and one grows deep, and one grows wild, and all of them grow teeth. Very cool. All right. Now, obviously, that will be some darker vampire kind of story. So let's go with a rom-com vampire story. So I have My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. I also have the second in that series, which is My Vampire Plus One. I am expecting them to just be romantic comedy with a vampire, and I am here for it. I am excited for those types of vibes. Oh, I didn't know this was her debut. So, very cool. Those are definitely, I'm going to try to get them read. As just a nice little lighthearted read. Alright, so those are the books that have already been on my nightstand. Now let's get to the ones that haven't yet, but I do need to go through my nightstand and move some things around and really make room for these. Let's start with this one. So I have Never Whistle at Night. This is an Indigenous dark fiction anthology. I am not a huge dark fiction reader. I mean, if I'm questioning doing like dark academia, I don't go for like creepy, scary reads. But I have this and I definitely want to check it out. It is a whole collection from different authors. So my goal is to pick a story or two at a time, read them, and then read, one of these other books, and then kind of get back to this and hopefully finish it before I get into some Christmas reads. So this one should be fun. Let's talk about this. It's from an author that I have not read from yet, but I do have 2 books that I own from this author, and then one that you'll see here later, and it's from the library. But I have My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, which I love the look of this cover. And again, I've never really read a book like this. I know it's, it's supposed to be like set in the 80s, following 2 friends, and obviously one needs an exorcism. So we will see how I like this. Look at just this cover. I love it. Let's do this one. So I have A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw, and this I've heard is like a cult book. Oh, here we go. Okay. Hauntingly beautiful, hypnotic, and bewitching, A History of Wild Places is a story about fairy tales, our fear of the dark, and losing yourself within the wilderness of your mind. So, that sounds interesting and fascinating. So, I have that one to read. Take a sip of my coffee here. Alright, I have a couple of new releases. So first is Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. She is definitely becoming an auto-buy author for me. I have read a handful of her books now, and for the most part, they have all really worked. I think that there's been 2 that just didn't quite do it for me, but I enjoy her books. They are usually dark, gothic, a little twisty, a little unnerving, but gosh, this is such a gorgeous book. I mean, I am so excited. Healer Anya regularly drinks poison, not to die, but to save, seeking cures for those everyone else has given up on. I am down for that. Alright, my next new release is A Land So Wide by Erin A. Craig. This came out on Aardvark, and so I decided to pick it, and I mean, that gives me all the vibes that I want this fall. So the town of Mistaken has a secret. So it looks like it's set in Canadian wilderness, and that this town is kind of cursed and has a lot of secrets. So deeply atmospheric adult debut. It's a stunning celebration of one woman's unrelenting bravery and a quest to reclaim her lost love and seize her own fortune. That sounds amazing. It's actually blurbed by Shay Earnshaw from History of Wild Places on the back. Alright, my next, I have Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. So this is supposed to be a prequel to Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. So I enjoyed that first book. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really good. I did not enjoy the second book, but I'm interested to see what this prequel is like. I think it deals more with like the gods, and the characters Matilda and Vincent were fated to find each other beyond dreams. But to rewrite the blood-soaked ways of the gods, Matilda will have to face something she fears even more than losing her magic, finally allowing herself to be loved. I mean, that has like all the words that I enjoy in books. So again, this is a absolutely beautiful, oh, look at this. I think it goes onto the back. So I definitely want to check this out and see what I think of it. So I have some pretty deep and heavy books up there. So now it's time for some not deep and heavy books. I need some cozy, witchy vibes. So the first one that I have is Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I mean, that is my dream right there. A good book, a cat, cozy vibes with like library shelves all around me. I'm sold. In this spellbinding, warm, and cozy debut novel, a burned-out witch will need to turn to her friends and trust herself to find the magic in her own life again. That sounds great. Okay, this next one I got last year, I think, at a thrift store. So unfortunately, there is like the prices on it. You can see I got it for $1.58. But this is Keeper of Enchanted Rooms by Charlie N. Holmberg. I do believe that there's a book 2 out for this now, but I definitely want to check this one out and see how I like it. Did I see writing in here? There is. So somebody underlined the word cravat and then wrote on the side that it is a necktie. Maybe some editing marks. Yikes. If there's anything else. Not that I could see, but I don't mind getting like little notes left in used books. I kind of like it. Sorry, reading about the back. Okay, so I'm excited to pick this one up and see if it has the kind of cozy fall vibes that I'm looking for. I am running out of shelf space right here. Yikes. Okay, then the last 4 books are books that I think I am going to have on this stack anyways, but I am going to be taking them at the beginning of October to my book club, because then I will be hosting book club at my house in November. So I need to take books in October for us to pick and read through that month. So I have picked 4 different books. If you are in that book club and don't want to see what they are yet, don't watch this portion. Or do. I don't care. I'm expanding it just a little bit because I figure may as well keep with the kind of fall feelings that I am wanting to read. So I do have another cozy witchy book, and this is The Late Night Witches by Arlie Wallace. A warm and funny novel about family, love, lost and found, discovering who you are, and how difficult it is to slay a vampire. Okay, I'm here for it. Actually, I'm gonna do some rearranging. Alright. Yeah, it's just gonna go there. The next I have actually been wanting to pick up and read. A couple months ago, I had picked a couple different fantasy series off of my shelves and had my husband put them in order of when I should read them. So I am actually on the second of those 4 series right now, and this is the 3rd one that he had picked, and it is Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Buxton. So I'm really excited to pick this up and read it. You are following a crow named ST, short for shit turd, who just wants to eat Cheetos and hang out with his owner named Big Jim, trading insults with wild crows. And then he realizes one day that something is wrong because Big Jim's eyeballs fall out. And so he has to kind of go on this expedition to figure out what is happening to humanity, and I am here for it. I think that this will be a lot of fun. There is a second book to this series, and so I will see how I like this one, and then hopefully pick up the second one. Then, to kind of change a little bit, for book club, I am also going to bring The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. So I actually don't know what this one is about, because my version of it does not have a summary. Like, there's a ton of different blurbs, but then, like, it actually gets into it, And the back is just like a review and more blurbs. So I don't know. I don't know what it's about, but I'm guessing that Mrs. Westaway is dead and they have to figure out why. Before I go to book club, I will actually have to look up a summary of this and have that to present. Alright, the very last book that I have to talk about is another Grady Hendrix, and this is the one that I was able to get from the library. I am trying more and more to support my libraries. My kids obviously use our local libraries a lot, and I haven't. I prefer to like have the physical copy here on my shelves, but there have been a couple recently that I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try it from the library, and if I really like it, then I'll get it as a trophy here for my shelves. And this is one of them. So this is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. What I have heard is that this book, it's like a school or a house for unwed mothers to go to and have their babies in secret, give them up for adoption, and forget that it ever happened. This is in the 1970s, so I am guessing that there are some not great things going on in this house, but I thought this would be a fun pick to read. All right, there we go. That is quite a stack of books. Will I read all of them this fall? Absolutely not. Like, there's no way, because I have other books that I have to read as well, but I love having this kind of collection of books, and I'll keep it going, like, you know, it's the first week of fall, so we're towards the end of September. I'll keep this going until probably mid to late November, and then I will be switching over to some Christmas books, which is always fun. I love a good Christmas rom-com. A good one. That is the key. I have a really hard time finding some good ones. I did find some good ones last year, and so we'll see what I find this year. But as of right now, I am totally down for all this fall kind of feeling in this stack of books that I have here. On that note, I'm going to go finish my coffee, and I will be back to talk more like kid books and things like that soon.